深夜渡辺です。どうぞ。今日のゲスト、深夜渡辺に来てもらってます。よろしくお願いします。
Alright, so hello everyone. My name is Shinya, and as you can see from here, I am currently working for Techtopia as a learning designer.
タクトピアではラーニングデザイナーとして働いてますよね。
And I also work for this company or NPO, non-profit organization called Kanariba.
いい単語言うね。Non-profit organization。非営利組織ね。Non-profit organization。つまり2つの組織で働いてるね。いつタクトピアに入った
？I joined Techtopia in year 2018.
2018、2年前、約3年前にタクトピアに来た。
This is first of all the first part of the slide. So this is from year 0 to 18 of my life. I am currently 9 years old, so this is kind of like the first half-ish of my life.
ちょっと待って、今、ハーフイッシュっていうすげえなんかネイティブっぽく出た。ハーフイッシュってのは、半分的なんていうかね。ISH がちょっとぽいって言うぽい。ハーフイッシュ。だから、2時ぐらいに会おうって時になんていうの ?2 時ぐらい。
Let's meet around とか、around 2-ish.
2-ish とね。2-ish って言ったら2時ぐらいって意味なんです。これはつまり人生の半分ぐらいのお話です。どうぞ。
Yeah, so I was born, okay, so first of all, I'm half Korean and half Japanese. And then I was born in Korea. And then I lived in Korea and Japan until I was about 2 years old. And then my father's business took him to Hong Kong. And then I decided for our family lived in Hong Kong until I was 18 or until I finished high school. So they decided that because I could speak, or my mother taught me English when I was little. So because I could speak English, and then I could speak Japanese and Korean as well. But they thought that it was best if I grew up in this single system so that I have a deeper understanding of the cultures, environment, and those things.
つまり深い deeper understanding of the culture つまりその一つの文化に精通した方がいいんじゃないかっていうのを考えたら、日本のシステムで18歳まで
I went to a university in Chicago called University of Chicago.
シカゴ大学っていう、世界ランキングで言うと、今9位ね、世界ランク9位のシカゴ。その後に行ったのがまたすげえとこ行ったコロンビア大学っていう大学に行きました。
Well, I went back to Hong Kong.
マジね
Yeah.
どのぐらい帰った
For about 2.5 years, I think.
2年半ぐらい香港に帰ったね。このシカゴで卒業した後すぐに帰って何やったの
So, well, I worked a little bit in Chicago in advertising. So I did.
Advertising. Advertisement ってのはつまり広告会社で働いた。
Yeah, so I did a little bit of digital advertising, like kind of like social media advertising.
なんかデジタルマーケティングとかね、そういうことやね。
Yeah, and also a little bit of public relations, which is a little bit different.
パブリックリレーションね、PR ね。
I decided to be a 塾の先生。
塾の先生になったと。香港で塾の先生になりましたね。海外進学塾みたいなところだったね。香港はね、本当にトフルもIELTSもめっちゃ暑いんだよね、やっぱり。この前俺も香港行った時にもうバスがさ、オックスブリッジアカデミー。
I made some of the advertisements too.
あ、そういう感じ
When I was in, when I was working in the tutoring center.
もうね、バスが、香港では中高生を送るバスがもう送り迎えで、オックスブリッジアカデミー、トフル、IELTS って書いてあって、やべえなと思って。
So advertising on the train.
電車とか、あとビルとかにも、なんか日本の東進ハイスクールみたいな感じのやつがいっぱいあって。
So yeah, I was a teacher and also did advertising for them as well. After 2 years, it gave me a great experience of how to become a good teacher. So I decided to go to Teachers College at Columbia.
これね、めちゃめちゃ有名なんでね、ティーチャーズカレッジっていうのは、教員養成学校みたいな感じで、コロンビアユニバーシティ、これ宇多田ヒカルがいたのね、コロンビア大学で。
She didn't finish.
そうそう、中退したけど。はい、
It's because she was too famous.
有名になっちゃった。
Too successful. Okay, so University of Chicago, I went there for 4 years, right? So I know the university very well. Columbia, I don't know that well.
大学院短いしかも勉強ばっかりしたから別にそんなに大学のなんかコミュニティで遊んだと。
Kind of. I was studying, but I was also enjoying the city a lot because New York, right? I was living in New York for 2 years.
ニューヨークに2年も住んでたね。どんな気分
So it was amazing. So again, I really enjoyed watching film, which is something that I developed in college.
あ、ニューヨークやっぱ劇場とか多い。
Exactly. So cinema, theater. I didn't go too much to too many theater things, but I did go to so many cinemas that are in New York.
お母さんはどのように英語を教えてくれましたか？
Yeah. So this is, I think, we talked about it a couple of times as well. But I learned a lot from watching Disney, and that's. I think you have a.
ディズニー英語うちもやってますけどね。でもあれは日本人向けのディズニー英語システムね。でもディズニーを見たね、今。
Yeah, so Pinocchio, I remember watching it so many times.
ピノキオを見まくったっていう思い出が
ある。And you know, many other like early Disney films. And it wasn't just watching. My mother made me summarize what the story was.
お母さんが見てちゃんとサマライズする。これはすごい。僕もね、ちょっとこれ研究って今興味あるのは、その親子がそのある一つのコンテンツを見たときにどういうふうにやり取りするかってそれ大事。その後にお母さんがサマライズして What did you think about it? みたいなやり取りインタラクションをして。
What was the plot?
What was the plot ね。
And it's hard, right? Like it's hard to summarize the plot of Pinocchio. Can you do it?
できないけど。
Yeah, exactly. It's difficult. So I had to work a lot to come up with that.
つまりお母さんがいい対応をしたんだね。仕掛けてからね。
Yeah, and so I watched Disney on videotapes. And on the videotapes, there used to be some educational content at the very end where they asked like questions like, "What did Pinocchio feel during this time?"
ピノキオの気持ちを答えてみよう。
Yeah, exactly. And then it shows like a scene, right? Basically, the scene where Pinocchio was swallowed by the whale. They ask like what Pinocchio felt during that time.
つまりピノキオがクジラに飲み込まれた時の気持ちはどうだったんでしょうみたいなのをそのエデュケーションのビデオの後にあったんだね。
Yeah, so I had to, think about it and answer to my mom.
ちゃんと答えたんだね、それについて。
Yeah, and I had to.
それ偉いね、ちゃんと答えるの。
Yeah, so those are some of the, I think, ways that I learned English. And other ways, of course, like grammar, I went through English language, what was it? The English in use?
English in use, グラマーユースね。
Grammar in use.
ケンブリッジ大学出版、俺らが使ってるアンロックの教科書あれと同じグラマーユースとかやったりした。
Grammar in use and also the vocab book, like
単語帳。俺の本かな？違うか。
It's, I think, Oxford maybe, but yeah, I just memorized a lot of it.
つまり結構エクスプリシットに勉強したんだね。やっぱお母さんがその問いかけとかディズニー見せてくれたり、一緒に対話するっていうのね。その時間大事だよね。
There's a limit to implicit learning. You can't learn.
そうそうそう。今いい専門的な話しちゃうんだけど、インプリシットラーニングっていうのがあって、つまりアンチ的なので、なんとなくいっぱい英語バーって見て、できたっていう気持ちになるかもしれないけど、実はこれ限界があって、ちゃんとここはこうなんだよっていう明示的にシステムとして学ぶ必要も言語にあるんですよ。だから深夜みたいなレベルでもそういう経験がある。
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of international school friends, for example, like they were all, most of them grew up in an implicit environment, right? So they were able to converse in English very well.
会話できるんだけど、
of course, but at the same time, I did think that they lacked in a lot of the explicit learning as well.
彼らは、まあ、インターナショナルスクールの生徒ってやっぱその自然な関係のある生徒ね、学んでる、自然に学んでるんだけど、やっぱり何かしら欠けてることが多い。それをやっぱ完璧にするのはインプリシットとエクスプリシットのバランスだよね。それで、リンガハッカーでも入れてますね。リンガハッカーではインタラクティブでインプリシットいっぱい学んで、たまに先生がエクスプリシットで説明してもらってみるの。はい。つまりリンガハッカーでは大丈夫です。その理論を言ってます。将来はどこで誰向けに教育をしたいと思ってる？
For now, Japan.
日本人。
No.
場所。
People in Japan. Yeah.
日本にいる人。
Yeah. And
なんでその日本にこだわりがあるの？
You know, I think what I've kind of found in the Colombia and like what I found studying in Colombia and so far living here for 2.5 years or so, I quite like working for the challenge of the education in Japan.
日本が、まあ、直面している教育の問題とかに取り組むのがまあ楽しい。
Yeah, so I think I see myself working in Japan for the next couple of years.
あと数年間は日本。カップオブイヤーズっていうのはちょっと曖昧だけど、まあ、2、3年間は間違いない。でもさ、日本の教育とか、今、学校現場もあったり、学校先生と毎日やり取りしてるさ、日本の教育の、ここがやばいよ、日本人。なんか、ここがやばい、日本の教育。まあ、ポジティブ、ネガティブ、両方ちょうだい。
I think Japan is so. I think a lot of people who lived in both Japan and outside of Japan feel that Japanese education until primary school is excellent.
小学校までの日本の教育は素晴らしいって大体思うんだよね。海外に留学したことはね。
Yeah, so, and the reason for that is because Japan has a very good system, right? Like it has a very good way of thinking about what a child needs to learn in terms of both educational and also things like shitsuke or like behavioral stuff. And they do that very well in primary school or up till primary school. But what happens in middle school and high school is that
中高に入った途端に
there's the juken system.
急に受験システムが入り込む。
And it's such a big difference from how it was from primary school until, you know, it's just a big change, it's a shift. And that, I think, is the cause of a lot of the pains. And
それがいろんな、小学の根源になっていると。
Yeah, for a lot of the parents, I think, especially, and teachers as well. But I think what I learned in Colombia was that parents have a huge effect in education, of course, and not just because they play part in education, but they have such strength in shaping how teachers are or how a community is.
そうね。親の役割というのが教育にかなり関与していると。すごいそれが重要な一部であるから、その先生の考え方と変わっちゃうと。
Exactly.
親が教育に対する考えと。
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, like a child doesn't really or is really affected by the options of the parents, right? They can't say no when parents are like, you have to do this. Or they can't, it's really hard for them to find something when parents said no to some things. So,
親が思っていることとか願っていることに否定できないんでね、子供はね。もう親が決めたことって。
It's their world, their family is their world.
親の領域の中で生きてるからね、子供はね。
So, you know, I think a lot of the different, by looking at different systems, places like Japan, places like America, it's very similar in the sense that it's a developed country, for what is. And I thought that it was important to start talking more about how parents make these decisions and how the system, or like the school system, and how the education system can start better conversations with parents about educational experiences.
それは確かに。親をもっと絡ました方がいいかもね、教育に。
In a way, or being able to talk to or have a conversation with parents about what education is.
教育と何かって言ったらやっぱ親と話す機会を作る。次いきます。息抜きは1日どれぐらい必要と考えてますか？息抜き。ずっと仕事してんのか、
okay.
リラックスしてる。
I have a good answer. Having a good morning.
いい朝を迎えること。例えば。
I make coffee every morning.
朝起きてコーヒーを作る。ゴリゴリ。
I don't do ゴリゴリ。
ゴリゴリ。
I do like, you know, hand drip.
Hand drip やと。
And yeah, and not just rushing. I like to, you know, since I work from home a lot of time now, so I'm able to take like the 1 hour after I wake up to just, you know, slowly wake up, drink my coffee, read some things.
徐々にこのバイタイズしてる感じね、生きていく感じね。
Yeah, so that kind of is nice.
それはやっぱそういう息抜きっていうか、朝の大事な朝を迎えたらその調子いいと。
Yeah.
それからね。
Definitely.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for coming. ありがとうございました。